Hello, my name is Mark Hard and I'm lead counselor at Chisholm Trail High School. This presentation is being recorded to help our current 8th grade students and their parents as they work on planning the academic transition from middle school to high school. Things that we're going to cover within this presentation include graduation requirements, both courses and end-of-course exams, earning of credits, advanced academics options, and freshman year courses. So let's begin with graduation requirements. All students in Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD enter high schools on what's called the Foundation with Endorsement graduation plan, working towards a distinguished level of achievement. Based on that, students must earn a total of 26 credits, including 4 credits in each of the core areas of English, math, science, and social studies, at least 1 credit in PE, 1 credit in fine arts, and 2 credits from the same world language. On top of that, the students must also earn 6 additional electives that help work towards their endorsement. Outside of the credit requirement, students are also required to pass 5 end-of-course exams in the content areas of English 1, English 2, Algebra 1, Biology, and US History. Without meeting all of these requirements, students will not meet the graduation requirements at the end of senior year. So what are credits and how are they earned? Credits are earned when a student successfully completes a course with an average of 70 or above. If it is a semester course, the student earns 0.5 credit, and for a year-long course, the student earns 1 credit. So a student taking a course like English 1, that's all year long, will earn 1 credit at the end of the year. The student taking a semester elective, like maybe photojournalism, would complete a half credit at the end of the semester. On top of earning a 70 or above, the student must also be present for that class at least 90% of the time. If a student has missed more than 10% of the days that class was offered, the student will lose credit for the course. In order to earn the credit for that course, a student would either need to make up hours or repeat the class entirely. What this means is that at high school, a student could earn a 100 in the class, but miss too many days and have to repeat that course again. In order to be promoted at high school, it is not based on the number of years a student has been in high school, but based on their total credits. So at the end of freshman year, a student must have at least 5.5 credits to be promoted to a sophomore, then 12 credits or more to be a junior, and at least 19 credits to be a senior. Any student that doesn't meet those benchmarks will be retained. Understand at high school, retention is a little bit different. It does not mean that the student would repeat all freshman courses or all sophomore courses, whatever year they were being retained to. It means they would have to repeat the courses that they did not earn credit for the previous school year. Many of you already have a head start on this by taking courses in middle school that count towards high school credit. Listed here are those courses. Just know that that gives you the opportunity coming in to already have some of your credits out of the way. The next thing to discuss is our Advanced Academics program here in EMS ISD. Advanced Academics are courses at the high school level that help to prepare the student for advanced coursework beyond high school. This could include college, or it could include technical school from some of our CTE programs. These classes are typically listed as advanced, on-ramps, advanced placement, or dual credit. These different types of courses are typically available at different levels. Example is, for the most part, AP and dual credit courses are not offered until later on for students like junior and senior year. And advanced courses are more often available freshman and sophomore year, although this is not the case in every single situation. Students are not required to take advanced courses in all content, and that's an important thing to understand, and we'll continue to discuss as we dive deeper into advanced academics. So how do you decide on advanced academics? One thing to consider is your academic strengths. If I'm a strong math and science student, I may only want to take advanced academics in those areas and take on-level courses in English and social studies. I may want to seek input from my current teachers and counselors, as they will know best what I might be successful in, as they see me every day in the classroom, working hard in their classes and know what I'm capable of. I want to look at my prior academic successes. If I am typically a high A student in English and a low B student in math, then I probably want to take advanced academics in English and not math in that scenario. I want to consider my future goals. If my future goals consist of a field that science is very important in, then I may want to consider taking advanced academics in the area of science. Another thing to consider at the high school level is the time commitment for extracurricular activities. In the past, I may have been able to take advanced academics in all 4 core and still be a part of programs like fine arts and athletics. And many students can still do that at the high school level. But the time commitment for these types of programs at the high school level increases dramatically. And so I may need to consider whether or not to only do advanced academics in a couple areas if I also want to be a part of these types of programs. Most importantly, the question to ask yourself is, are you willing to put forth the extra effort and have the positive attitude necessary to be successful in these programs? I want to encourage our students to challenge themselves, but not stretch themselves too far. Push yourself to be the best you can, but do what is manageable for yourself. So what is our plan as we begin working with students to complete their 4-year plan, as well as selection of their courses for freshman year? Through the months of December and January, our middle school advisory teachers and counselors have been working with students on their 4-year plans. This may have been on paper or through a computer program, but either way, students have begun going through this process and discussing it. Towards the end of January, the week of January 26th, high school counselors will be available to students virtually through their advisory to review career plans, answer questions, and finalize their 9th grade requests. Prior to that, any questions a student has or a parent has should be asked of that advisory teacher or the student's middle school counselor, so that we can get all those questions answered prior to the high school counselors coming down and finalizing these plans. So let's talk about the specific courses that students will be selecting. Students are required to take 1 course in each of the 4 core areas each year of English, math, and science, and social studies. Notice under English, there's 4 options: English 1, Advanced English 1, and Advanced English 1 GT. We'll take just a second to speak about our GT program. These courses labeled as GT are specific for students who have qualified for that program. They've tested and qualified for it and took GT courses while in middle school. Those students can continue in the GT program by signing up for those classes at the high school level, though they do not have to sign up for all of them. They can focus on the areas that they're most interested in and most successful in. Students who want to challenge themselves and continue to take advanced coursework but are not in GT would just take the Advanced English 1 course. Also want to talk about a couple areas where there are multiple options of courses to choose from. Notice in math, we have options for Algebra 1 and Geometry. Many of our 8th graders take advanced math while at the 8th grade level, and in 8th grade take Algebra 1. If a student has successfully completed Algebra 1 while in 8th grade, then freshman year they would take one of the 3 options for geometry. However, if a middle school student in 8th grade took 8th grade math, then that student would be taking Algebra 1 in 9th grade, their first year with us. Science-wise, students have 2 options between biology and IPC. The majority of our incoming freshmen do take biology. However, we try to help select group of students to identify if IPC would be a better option for them. Students who have in the past struggled in science may want to select IPC as it may be a better fit for them transitioning into high school. They would then take biology in 10th grade as it is a requirement for graduation for all students. Social studies, notice we have both world geography and human geography. And the important thing to note about human geography is it is a true AP course. What this means is it is a college level course, college level coursework, and uses a college level textbook. However, students in this course at the end of the year are encouraged to take part in the College Board AP exam, and with the qualifying score can earn college credit from the coursework they've done this year. So we encourage students who are really strong in social studies to consider taking our AP Human Geography course. Outside of the core requirements, students also have to meet the requirements for world language, fine arts, and PE. Here's a list of many of the options that are available to students for those programs, and we'll talk more about those in the following slides. So we've talked about the things that are required, and now we're going to talk about the things that you may want to take, your electives, the things that are open to you. First, let's talk about athletics and PE. A couple slides back, you saw all the different options that are available to students and a couple things to be aware of in regards to athletics and PE. First, that students can only select one of those to be in their schedule. So a student enrolled in athletics cannot sign up for a PE class as well. And a student signing up for athletics cannot sign up for multiple sports. That does not mean that the student can't participate in multiple sports, but their schedule will only have one sport in it at a time. For multi-sport athletes, they need to think about the sports they're trying out for and enroll in whichever sport starts earliest in the school year. An example would be a student who wanted to play volleyball and basketball. Since volleyball is in the fall, basketball is in the winter, that student would sign up for volleyball. Once signed up for volleyball and the season ended, if the student made the basketball team, the coach would contact the counseling department and the counselors would work to adjust the student's schedule to get them into the correct class. Within fine arts, again, we have multiple options for our students to earn that credit. Notice that many of these courses require an audition, like choir, band, and drill team. Once a student has auditioned, made the team, then the director of that program will contact the counseling department to let us know which course to put a student into. Another program that we're very proud of in Eagle Mountain Saginaw ISD is our Career and Tech Ed program. These programs offer multiple courses in multiple areas to help expose our students to different career fields they may be interested in post-high school. See a list of these areas here. It's important to note that many of these culminate in courses at our Hollenstein Career and Tech Center, and most of those programs culminate in certifications that can lead straight to working in that career field right after high school. Also note a couple of these programs with the plus sign after them: education and training, hospitality and tourism, human services, information tech, manufacturing, and transportation. Those programs are actually available to students at HCTC starting in 10th grade. However, many of them do have a prerequisite that must be taken in 8th or 9th grade in order for the student to be eligible for the program at HCTC in 10th grade. So if any of those programs interest your student, it is very important that you reach out, you find out what that prereq is, and get it into your schedule in 9th grade to open up those opportunities as a sophomore. The majority of these programs are not available to students at the Hollenstein and Career Tech Center until 11th and 12th grade, which gives the students at least 2 years to get that prerequisite in. Other elective areas at the high school include AVID, Communications, we have some English electives. We have journalism program that leads to both the yearbook and newspaper at the high school level. Technology applications, which has computer science classes, and our military science, which is our JROTC program. So many different options for our students. We hope that they will utilize everything available to them to identify what would be the best fit for them coming into our schools. There are two possible new courses that could be available starting next year. These courses would not be available to our incoming freshmen, but we want them to be aware of them so that they can sign up for the necessary prereqs if it's something they might be interested in down the road. American Sign Language Level 3 will be available once approved. The other one is electrical technology, which could lead to some certifications in a beginning apprenticeship in electrical work. Great opportunity for our students. So how do you decide? How do you make your final decisions? There's lots of different resources out there. One of the biggest one is discussing the options with your current teachers in your core areas, in your electives, and talking to your current counselor at your middle school. You can also view the EMS ISD course description handbook located on our counseling web pages, as well as on our district counseling webpage. By visiting these websites, you can get the information you need to know what the courses are about and what prereqs they have. Another good resource is the Texas Career Check website. So a place where you can go, take an interest inventory, and find out what careers you may be interested in. By bringing that information back to your advisory teacher or your middle school counselor, they may be able to help you identify high school courses related to that content. Thank you for your time, for listening to this presentation. We look forward to seeing you guys soon.